semi-crazy. Let's see here. Oh, not bad. I'll put a little bit of this up. We'll be all right. We'll make something happen here. Couldn't be worse. It could always be worse.
You could be out of focus for the entire
Yeah.
you could be out of focus for the entire podcast.
And it's well because out of all the craziness we've dealt with from, coat closets to now, it's like this is when it happens. Yeah. How many episodes in are we? Like, make this a week one. Hey, but
yeah.
Who cares? Still content. Still a yep. Still a bearded, slim face, blurred or in focus.
Still content.
And,
still got it out.
With that, we're in. We are in, and this is This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue focused podcast that's bringing you hot takes, hot recipes, and some blazing hot news because we've got a lot of things going. But to help me deliver some of this amazing news is my even slimmer than the last slim time, Mr. And I am your host, Rashid Phillips, and
Lee Garman.
Been on the road from Memphis, straight to Indy. It was loud.
Straight to Indy.
It was so loud. It was so loud.
Yeah.
There were so
I would imagine
many
so.
people.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I get it now. I get why 300,000 plus people come out there. And you can't usually fathom that, but we had our own suites, and you could go out from the front or the back end, and you could see just the crowds piled into the stands. And when I say Indy fans are like diehard, they remind me of like rugby fans. So the day of the race is Sunday. Everyone's getting ready. The whole weekend, everyone's on the edge like, gosh, I hope it doesn't rain. And if it rains, and here's the thing, it rained every night, but it stopped and dried out by morning. And we had early mornings there. Sunday, and
nice.
Like boots on the ground at 5. Sunday, it's nice. Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, we get to go right around the track. We're doing a $175 flying around that thing. It's like, this is awesome. And then it gets dark. And it gets windy. And it starts to lightly sprinkle. And then you hear the announcer, hey, there's been lightning within a mile. Everyone needs to get out. Yeah. There's lightning half a mile. If you're in the stands, you've got to get out. And I mean, there are people still in there not leaving. We've just seen too many crazy things with Mother Nature play around with lightning. I'll play with,
you know what, I'm out.
That's the one I'm off limits.
Oh yeah,
Wildfires,
no, lightning's the one. It's like,
wind,
you know what,
rain,
I'm out.
Snow, hail, all day, every day. Let's go. Been in it, cooked in it.
Yeah,
that's no matter what. Got good boots for it. Lightning, I listen because you can't control it. It's unpredictable. That lightning doesn't just zap and like, all right, we're done. Like, no.
No.
If it's raining and we're sitting in all metal arenas, there's nothing to ground you anywhere, and you're literally seeing the lightning.
Probably next to a metal smoker.
Lightning likes
with potentially object, making it even taller here as I walked around.
But the people were still in the stands, and we're just like, guys, I'm seeing you in the stands, and I'm seeing lightning hit right behind you. Like, no, not doing it. So they put a little pause on it.
Like, no, I'm good.
Because of that, and it was delayed, but it was like a movie. Everyone's sad and like, oh man. Then the skies open up and the sun comes out, and they're rolling these machines to dry out the track, which took like an hour and a half to do. Then the national anthem, then the Thunderbirds go flying over, and gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen, I think they still do say gentlemen. Gentlemen start your engines, even though there was a female driver. And they were off. It was a good time. Got to meet some absolutely amazing people. Chris, Mata, so many great guys. Paul, Rick, Chad of Whiskey Bent. He's Team Traeger. I told you guys I do have friends who use Traegers and are literally on Team Traeger. And he and I sat down and had a great conversation. So great of a conversation that's how we're going to bookend today's episode of This Week in Barbecue. But the time out there, man. It was a great time. It was absolutely amazing. Highlight for me, getting to meet and take photos and talk with Mario Andretti.
That's never a bad time.
No, he is.
Done one or two things.
He's done a couple of things.
That's
The man,
never a
like,
bad
it's
time.
wild because I met Mario.
He's
Andretti
done one or
on
two
Mario
things.
Andretti Lane. I was like, dude has streets named after him, and that's where I happened to meet him. You know?
Yeah.
He was a really, really nice guy. Met
Yeah.
Jason Tatum. He was grabbing. I was like, bro, shouldn't you be shooting right now? Shouldn't you be practicing? Got a game tomorrow. Whatever. What do I know? I just rubbed two sticks
Like,
together.
Good, you're good, I guess.
Yeah. But it was a very
Let's say when you're good, you're good, I guess.
packed out weekend. Big thanks to all the sponsors and supporters for having us out there.
Yeah.
And we got to feed a lot of people. Got to kick back with Chef Bo, who's, a television show chef hero and chef in real life. This man cooks. We were just there slinging and ripping through hundreds of steaks, flames on. I was like, I found my power buddy, because we were in it. We were in it, just juggling those ribeyes, laying them down, just ripping through the crowds, feeding these people, and it is a lot. Did I already say it's a lot of people? It is a lot. Yeah, and they are.
There's a lot.
It's wild because I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a preconceived notion going into it of like what to expect here, and I was off. Like all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds. Everybody got down for the Adele.
Oh yeah.
I didn't stand out as much as I thought. Mata and I still stood out, but what were we gonna do? Shout out to Mata. He's a huge character. He's a giant teddy bear with a huge heart, man. Real nice guy. If you guys aren't familiar, you should definitely check out this latest season of Next Level Chef. You'll see him showcasing his amazing talents and bulging biceps as he's ripping through these delicious bites and what have you. So do that.
I will say next, we got to find our way to F1.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I will say next. We
You can't give it all away. You can't give it all away, but oh boy, I'm working on it.
That is, to me.
That's where you'll turn into like an 8-year-old kid.
I know. I'm just saying that's like done NASCAR, done Indy, done some outdoor stuff, seen some rally. Like lots of motorsport I love. F1 is the one that, like, when I finally got to that, I was like,
I've marked off NASCAR, I've marked off.
Like, this is so
cool. I need to mark off rally and F1. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna make that happen, and it is wild to me just how. So here's the thing. So it's race day. It's 5 a.m. We're shuttling in. So here's the thing. So it's race day. I didn't know how strong the hustle in Indy was. So the Speedway is literally one block away from residential homes. It is encompassed by residential homes. Like, we were staying at one of the closest hotels, which is still like 4 miles, not horribly far. But that whole distance between 4 miles and the hotel, residential homes. I didn't know this until our lady told us. People rent out
that's
not
wild.
only
Yeah, I
their
didn't know that either.
homes, their driveway, their backyard, and their front lawn for
Park here.
yeah. So like, there's people with massive
Come
front
park
lawns
here.
and backyards that have RVs. Like, we saw one, like, this massive yard. She had RVs in the back, and then in the driveway had RVs, and then in the front had tents. So she'd like plot it off, and you could see these little stakes where she'd like, he or she knew how many could be there, and you see that all the way around.
She knew exactly
And
how. Yeah.
we didn't see that going in because we went a different route. We have a whole
insane.
different route the first 2 days. But apparently that's what it's like all 3 days. Like, people are just renting out.
Yeah.
Some can make a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 in that short time frame. And I was like, that's freaking ingenious. Like,
Oh yeah.
all right, sir lawn, mow it, clean it all up, done. And it's huge parties. I got exposed to a whole culture I didn't even know. Have you heard of the snake pit?
Yeah.
The snake pit is a whole different world. The snake pit, for those of you who've never been to Indy, the snake pit is a whole universe. I don't even think these people know what race is going on. because they're nowhere near the tracks. They're way off.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, like they're just going to town. And when I say a rave, I mean it's neon, fishnets, your whole plur bracelets, your flamethrowers. Like we were watching on the back end, and there was a moment where everyone was just like headbanging in sync, and you could just see this massive wave over there. I was like, do they know that the race is about to start? They just don't care.
Are they going to come over here?
They're just way over there. They have no. It was wild.
Are they going to come over here?
It was a very amazing experience, eye-opening, because once again, wasn't privy to how deep that world goes.
Yep.
Shout out to Scotty. He didn't get the W like he wanted, but he was extremely gracious with the time. Did so many meet and greets. Got to see and chat with a lot of the racers, walk through the garages, get literally up close and personal. And for those of you who are interested in what have you, make sure to follow us on Instagram and the socials at This Week in Barbecue. We're going to be dropping a lot of those imagery and that content probably right when you're listening to this, because I'm literally on my way right back out after we wrap this to go to Detroit so we can do it again, just getting the notification on that. But it is, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, big races, I feel like.
No, yeah, it's
Here in America.
big races. I feel like
Yeah.
here in America, at least, like we don't have soccer like the rest of the world has soccer. So there are like when those big races come through, like to me, that's the closest thing that we get to like those soccer games that have like 100,000 people at them just going crazy. Yeah, it's like you talking about those fans is like it is such a thing. Like they're so diehard. It's not like like you go to some sporting events and it's like, well, there's the supporter section. That's where the crazy people go. It's like, no, dude, everyone here is the crazy people.
And I don't think,
and it's so much fun. It makes it like
that one rude
such
person.
a cool environment.
Everyone was so nice, from the hotel staff to the drivers, from the restaurants to people at the venues, to the sweet people, everyone was so amazingly nice, and no one was rude. I mean, when you're slinging out food for hundreds of thousands of people, the lines are organized. No one's rushing, yelling, "What's the way?" No, everyone's there to just have a good time. It was a really good time. They just had a great understanding and a respect for one another, and even got to see, like, they have this moment after they let us lap around where they showcase the race cars from the previous eras, and that was the wild part to see. I was like, yeah, you guys were definitely tinier back in the day.
Oh, that's cool.
And then how some of these just even worked. It's like, what? And then you're learning the facts, like, oh yeah, pit stops back in the day, if you had a 30-minute pit stop, that was fast. It's like, a 30-minute pit stop? How long were these races? A little bit longer. And now we go in and you're seeing 7-8 second pit stops.
A little bit longer.
And shout out, there are a lot of women on these pit teams.
Yeah.
Again, no clue. Not being sexist, just ignorant, wasn't aware. There's a lot of women on each. I would be hard pressed to say I don't think I saw a team without one. And I don't mean like carrying a clipboard. No, they're throwing tires, pumping everything, just going in. I was like, hell yeah,
In it.
like, right on, and getting to chat with some of them, hearing their experiences with it. That was really cool. I'll have to say once again, if you've never been and you get the opportunity to, do it. Do it. Find out where they're going and get there. It was absolutely an amazing. I could go on and on, but let's touch a little bit of news, shall we? Because, like I said, we're going to bookend this episode with the amazing one-on-one sit down I had with Chad Ward, maybe better known as Whiskey Bent, and we go deep. We go, we ride the mill, just all things barbecue, career. We share a lot of the same viewpoints, and we've been talking buddies for a while. Again, I have Traeger friends, guys. I do. Shout out to Amanda Riggin and the whole crew, but let's run through some of this. Pegleg Porker, our buddy Kerry, his bourbon that we haven't opened yet. I'm waiting until Holy Smokes for him to sign it, then we'll open it. Just won World's Best Bourbon in the 2023
Yeah, yeah.
Tasting Alliance World Championship. That's not bad.
You're doing okay.
You know,
Nice.
right? Yeah, he's got a little bit of room for
That's,
improvement, guy. Like, I mean, stop dragging your
You're doing
feet. Come
okay.
on, get in there, put
Yeah.
some work in. Just get to work.
Yeah.
We're expecting more. No, that's amazing. But on top of that, Pegleg himself, they're opening up a new tasting room and bottling facility this year, 2024, June 6th. Excuse me, July 6th. So pay attention. Check that out. It's probably going to be a mad rush at the start, as it should be, especially with such an amazing accolade. But that's really great. He's venturing out. He's diversifying. What is it? Buffett said, if you have one stream of income, it's too close to zero. So he's definitely not just getting everything in one phase. He's spreading out, and he's working in complementary. Barbecue and bourbon and whiskeys hand in hand. Just saying, why not?
I don't think.
No, I'd go for it.
It's not that combo.
There's a couple guys
I don't think.
participate in that combo often.
Quite a bit.
Let's say it's a couple of guys who participate in that combo often. Anyone else
is
here?
actually
Yeah.
finished
Just me?
using real hickory coals after it's debarreled. So, sometimes you just can't escape the smoke, man. Sometimes you just got to sprinkle a little bit in there. I have to ask this because it's a gimme, but if I were to say, hey, there's an basically, there's an exhibition on barbecue, where would you think it'd
Easy
be?
for you to say.
There's an exhibition on and you would be right.
Like just existing?
There
Oh,
is
Texas.
a Welcome to Barbecue
Yeah.
exhibit in none other than Texas, more the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it is held at the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth.
Okay.
There's over 4,500 ceramic pieces, leaves, articles, all different types of knickknacks. I haven't been, but I've got to be in Dallas in a couple of days.
Have you ever been by that museum? It's a super cool museum. Like forget the barbecue part. I'm sure that is really cool and like very relevant, but like it is.
I've got to go out to
a
Dallas in
phenomenal
like
museum. Like it just looks cool.
a week or two.
Yeah.
So I might have to plug a day on the front or the back end to check out this exhibit because I'm like 4,500 pieces of ceramic that are ceramic made.
Do it.
Of leaves, grill pits, chicken wings, ribs, briskets. It's all in there. So I definitely want to go check that out. So if you're in the Dallas area
cool.
and you happen to be a pyro like one of us and you want to go check out some ceramic pieces of art that pertain to barbecue, boom, there you go. I already know the answer, but the listeners don't know the answer. Oh, actually, no, let's save that before we go to chat, because that's just going to have too much fun. Once again, our missing buddy right now, Mr. Brian Hall of Secret Pie and newly Owens and Hall, have got an amazing rave review by the barbecue snob himself, Mr. Daniel Vaughn. That's how you write a review. I mean, you wrote a review before, and they're both great reviews, but that's a review. That's the review you want.
I mean,
That's the review you want. Not,
like, let's just
ooh, that man's doing something with it.
I mean,
Mama B, I know you
Brian's
listening. He's
killing
doing
it. Like,
something.
let's just,
He's
like-
doing something. I'm just as proud of because when he sent it to me and we talked,
yeah.
yeah, when he's big, he still takes my calls, so I feel
Just
good.
ask him to remember us.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Holzer.
Yeah.
No, when he sent me
Excuse
the
me, Mr.
article,
Brian,
the
sir,
first
can I
thing
get
I
a
asked him
brisket
was,
burger,
did Mama read it
please?
yet? And she's like, yeah, she's so proud. I was like, damn right she is. I'm proud too. No, so guys,
Yeah,
check it
yeah.
out. We'll have that. We're gonna post it in the
I love
stories,
it.
toss it up, and we'll get
Yeah.
it all there. But it's great to see. He sent me a message thanking me. I was like, man, don't blame me for your success. I'll happily be that foot to kick you in the ass and be like, no, get to work. Like, you're really
Yeah.
good. Get this thing going, and it's showing.
Absolutely.
And it's I'm not saying they may get some stars, but I wouldn't be surprised if something rolls through there. It's coming up. They're doing some work.
I mean,
we're
come on.
working on setting up
Come
me
on.
doing a takeover there as well. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. But they absolutely
Yep.
deserve it. If I had to pick a review, that's the type of review I want.
yeah, I mean,
Because there's so much attention to detail, and it's not just because
yeah, I
we've
mean-
known Brian for years, and I've actually cooked with him.
Yeah.
We've put on pop-ups together. We've collaborated on numerous dishes and
Yeah.
benefits together.
what was the It was the jerk sausage that you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, what was the
Yep.
It was the jerk sausage that you guys did 2 years ago at Holy Smokes. That is still, like, to this day, one of those, like, that was like crack. I was like, hey, wait a minute. You sure we need to just give these out to people?
Those of you who are listening,
We can keep
haven't made
most
this
of these
public,
for
so
us,
this
right?
is breaking news. Those of you who are listening, we are working on a oxtail sausage. So an oxtail boudin sausage with Jamaican rice, coconut rice, and beef. Like it's gonna be a hit. So if you're listening, you know when we say it's live, go get it. You guys are gonna be the very first ones because we're not gonna put it out there on socials. This is what happens when you listen to the pod all the way through. Now,
Or at least about 22 minutes.
yeah, somewhere in there. Just listen.
Or at least about 22
Back again,
minutes.
we talked about this
or
gentleman
something
and his
like
new
that.
rubs. A few weeks ago, Mr. Channing Crowder of The Pivot, former NFL player, and so many more, and now stand-up comedian, he was showing how he makes his steaks. And it is very reminiscent of, the uncles with the Jesus Cruiser sandals, the beer over the coals, the half-gallon of lighter fluid, literally out, and we'll link the video, we'll put it up there. That's really what it is. He's like, y'all talking about me and my lighter fluid, but I like my coals hot. I'm like, the coals get hot if you light it and you let them rest a little bit. And he did something I've never seen people do. He said, if you want your flames right, so he doused some of the flames down with the beer. We do that in Jamaica when we're making jerk. We use it on Red Stripe. It does actually help. He's like, well, if you want the coals back, this is what you do. He goes and he grabs a stick of butter, and he just lets the butter melt on the grate so the fat gets down. I was like, wait, what? Now, I'm not knocking and Channing. You will probably never even hear this episode or know who we are, but if there's ever a slight possibility that we can get you on here, brother, I would happily love to have you on here. Like, I will fly to wherever you are, and let's cook some steaks together. Because when I saw the stick of butter, I was like, what is this, man? Are we making a compound butter? But there's nothing to whip it. Just took it out, toss it on the grill to get the flames burning.
Yeah.
Hey, what did he call that country boy cooking? Get down with the get down, man. However you get your flavors. But his rub is doing well. You guys make sure you go snag yourself a bottle of rubs. And speaking of our buddy, our fellow man in smoke, Mr. Al Frugonie, now has his rubs in HEB. You can go to HEB and you can get his chimichurri and you can get his asado rubs. It's going great. Everyone's spreading out. Everyone's getting in the big box stores. But don't forget, guys, you can keep a larger percentage if you just do direct to consumer. And that's just me and my 2 cents. What do I know? Once again, I just rub 6 together for a living. We have God, I don't know whose words
Maybe
you
one day we'll
Corey.
get rub
Just yeah, I know.
I just want them back so we can put them in places.
It's on me. It's on me. I've just been sitting around on my hands. I should really get to work.
The public. The public needs
I've been
it.
too lazy lately. How dare I?
Yeah, you should really do something.
And that's right, folks. We got to go.
Yeah, let's just cut this episode. We got stuff to do
out there.
Yeah, see you
He's
later.
doing a book signing for his brand new book, and the Blues Backyard in Pensacola Bay Brewery. So, yeah.
Nice. Also, speaking of Mo, jumping over to
that one
M&M,
person. Yeah,
his rig is like,
it's a lot of body.
oh my gosh,
That's a big
yeah,
boy.
in person,
That's
like
a big boy. It's rolling smoke. Yeah,
that's
So,
a unit.
in the wee hours of the
Yeah,
night.
that
as
is
I'm on
a
the
unit.
team, We're
Yeah.
rolling smoke from Memphis. But June 22nd, Big Moe is doing a book signing from noon to 3 at the Pensacola Bay Brewery. Local Blues, if you're a fan, go check them out. Local Pensacolians? Yeah, close. We'll go over that. You guys go by too. Floridians. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I like
yeah.
all of Florida. I just like
Or a
Pensacola,
Floridian,
a few of
right?
the
That's
pieces.
There are definitely some interesting parts.
Quite unique. But go by, tell them
There are
Sheet sent
definitely
you,
some interesting
and,
parts of Florida.
Enjoy, man. It's a good read. It's a good read. And I had to. This is why I saved this one for last because it just I cried laughing when I saw the video. But I'll ask because I know the answer. The public doesn't. What's your favorite cut of steak?
Mine's the New York strip.
That I know.
Really, what's your favorite cut of steak? It can get messed up.
Mine's a New York
Yes.
strip.
Like,
Texas
Really,
Roadhouse.
I mean, it can get messed up pretty quick. Like,
Damn you,
that
Brian.
is
You
for
still owe
sure.
me a steak.
Yeah.
I don't care how good
Sure.
your review from Vaughn was. You still owe me a steak. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my favorite. I mean, and I will say, like, and we've talked about this before, but it's wild to me that people go to, like, really nice steakhouses.
Just
and
so they
they're
can
gonna
ground
get filet.
turkey.
It's like, you want no fat? Come on. Like,
It is.
as far as like,
I feel like that's a filet is the biggest scam. As far as, like, cuts of steak go, it's like, oh, so you mean you just want that really expensive cut that you don't have to cook well and it'll always just kind of end up being good? Give me something with some fat. Show me you know how to
So
like
with
work
that,
with
I asked
what's in front of
because
you and make
Unc,
something good. Come
Shannon Sharp, and Ocho, they're doing their nightcap talk, and the chef is in the chat asking what their favorite cut of steak is, or what their favorite steak or where to go.
Yeah.
Unc is like, I love a nice wagyu, like a nice aged wagyu. You know, some $80 an ounce. You know, he names the restaurant, really amazing place. He enjoys it. Ocho goes, man, give me that Waffle House steak any day. Medium well.
just a little.
No.
Just a little. Give me that medium well. He gets
Just a little
that
bit of
medium
pink.
well.
Just a
Waffle House steak,
smidge.
And Unc is rolling, and then he's like, I was like, yeah, I get the wagyu, and Ocho's like, wagut? No, wagyu's wagut. And I don't know if it's a bit or if it's not, but you know, Ocho's always seemed very authentic, and he's like, he's never had it, and he's trying to understand. He's befuddled at the fact that it costs so much, you know, and he's like, yeah, it's up there.
Fair. I mean,
Not a lot
if
of
you've
people
never
get that
seen the
opportunity.
cost of wagyu, it is a little.
But
it's
he's
surprising.
blown away, and that just back and forth just had me
Yep.
thinking. So, audience, what is your favorite cut of steak? Where do you get your steak from? And have you had wagyu? Do you think it is like the epitome, like the top tier of steak, or is it not? We've had some. We've been lucky enough to have, you know, quite a bit more than most.
Shout out to any and everyone who's throwing some wagyu our way.
Yeah,
I'd say shout out to any and everyone who's throwing some wagyu our way to cook. It's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, if we're gonna go like all out, it's probably
I mean, I'll say my favorite cut.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna go like all out, it's probably some of those like bigger tomahawks that we've had.
hang them open fire.
No, it's a unit.
Hang
It's
them
a-
open fire.
yeah, we move as a unit. It's
We-
a team effort.
You hang them
No,
open
it's
fire.
My favorite place
Yeah,
to
my
get a
favorite
steak is
place to
also my house. Because we get down with it, man. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sit down, but I want to know what your guys' favorite steak is, and we'll post that video so you guys can see the hilarity and that ensues when they're going over what's their favorite steak. It's and where's it from. I can't. I'm not. I thought Ocho would have said something like maybe Cracker Barrel or something, you know, but that man went right in. Give me a country fried, smothered and covered. And he
Give me a
was like,
country
"No,
fried
that
steak."
Waffle House. But if I'm not mistaken, it used to be a statistic a couple of years ago. Waffle House sells more steak than any restaurant. If I'm not mistaken, it used to be a statistic.
Actually, you know,
Waffle House sells more steak than any
that
restaurant.
does make sense.
Yeah, they used to
Actually, you know,
sell more steak than some
that
of the
does make
top
sense.
steakhouses, and I get it. And they're not like crazy thin either. They're pretty good thickness. Even it's 2 a.m., you want that all-star and you still got a little room
No.
for more?
Yeah.
Go ahead and toss one of them bad boys on there for me. Right there. Never hurts. Never hurts.
Yeah. Just get you some steak and
Now
eggs.
to bun everything up, there is a ban on gas grills that are happening throughout the Colorado mountain area, and the HOA, they're not putting up with it. They've got a lot. As of right now, they have over 2,500 residents have come together in a legal action lawsuit to counter the ban. Because like, hey, we want to eat good. Now, I'm not a pusher of the propane and the propane accessories, but I'm not going to knock on somebody wanting to continue their grilling and enjoying themselves. So, shout out to them. I'm wishing them the best, but it is really driven by the insurance issue. The insurance companies are saying, hey, we just don't want to cover you anymore. It's getting too costly. So they're enacting a ban. The residents are like, I want my heat. You're not going to take my grill, give me propane or give me death type of thing. And they're fighting it. So I hope they win. I know I've been in Colorado. I've had to roll smoke up, in Breckenridge, and we've always used stick burners. I don't know if they're going to knock that. The current statements don't say, but those high temps, you kind of want something that's going to give you that. At those high altitudes and low temps, you want something that you're like, all right, I crank it, I know it's just going to be there. So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll keep you guys tuned, but hang tight.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. What we're going to do right now is cut and slide right into my amazing sit down with Mr. Chad Ward, Whiskey Bent. Check him out. We sit down. It's great. I think you guys will enjoy it. So let me know in 3, 2, and...
How we doing?
We're doing good, brother. We're doing real good. We're doing real good because for those who don't know, we are in Indianapolis for the Indy 500, day 2. We've done a lot.
We have, man, and what an awesome opportunity with Good Rancher Beef and these folks. I mean, just amazing.
Yes, many thanks to Ben, Ashley, Meredith, the whole team, Jermaine, Adam, everyone for having us out here.
Yes.
And for those who perhaps live under a rock and aren't familiar with yourself, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, so I'm Chad Ward, the owner of Whiskey Bent BBQ and also the director of barbecue marketing at Traeger.
See, people, I do hang out with people who work at Traeger. I know you guys think.
We even put our arms around each other every once in a while.
There's photos of us hanging out, having a whole good time, too. Everyone just thinks I hate everyone. No. I love the people. That's what matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, brother, but congratulations to you on opening up the shop. I know it was a long time coming, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. What all are you carrying in there? Who are you carrying in there? And what was sort of the thought process or the mindset that made you want to do it?
So we had the store for 10 years. We just had our 10-year anniversary in September. But it had always been one of those, like, you know, you're just trying to get by, right? So my first store was 900 square feet and opened it on $30,000.
Wow.
And but always had this vision. And I remember when we found this building and we knew it was time to expand. And, you know, we've been fortunate that the business has grown, not just the store, but the classes and all that kind of stuff. And then our seasoning line's done really well.
Right.
And so, you know, no one ever takes care of it like you will. So we kind of made the decision to stop having a co-packer and start manufacturing ourselves, which has meant a bigger facility. So when we did that, we said, hey, let's grow the store. And so the store now sits about 3,500 square feet of the 17,000 we're in. Wow. And we carry Yeti. We carry on the barbecue front, I mean, we carry about 125 different rubs, 75 different sauces, you know, all the favorites, you know, Meat Church, Cosmo, Heath.
Shout out to Cosmo.
But yeah, Cosmo was just at my place.
I was caught up with Cosmo in Dallas earlier this year.
Yeah.
And Maddie, shout out to Maddie.
Yeah.
The most. Cosmo goes, she, and I hear him like, who the hell's the other side of my name? But he's behind the fence, like, can't see there, brother.
But no, it's great. We carry Traeger, we carry Gosney pizza ovens. We've got Gateway drum smokers.
Nice.
Got a big Yeti set up. So yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. And you know, I've always been one of those. I've always kept it in Lakeland. There's other places where I could have moved the store in Central Florida and it made more money.
Yeah.
But man, I was born and raised there. I'm a community guy, and you take care of the community that takes care of you.
Oh no, I understand that. If we were in it for the money, we'd do something other than barbecue.
You're damn straight.
We're in it for the fun, the long hours, the sweat and the tears. But it's money's never the first option there. Now, how does it feel? Because as you mentioned, you know, the barbecue director for Traeger. What else does that entail for you? Because you've seen a lot change. The industry changes so quickly.
It does. So when I started with Traeger, my main responsibility was building out our barbecue influencer team.
Right.
And as we were doing that, you know, we then kind of moved into, we'd always been in the outdoors. We went a little deeper there. Then we got into music and athletics and entertainment. And, you know, when you think about it, those are my three things that I love. I love music, I love sports, and I love barbecue.
Yeah.
And so as those influencer teams kind of grew out, I got to start, you know, we started building a little bit bigger community team. So it freed me up to do more of the stuff that I really enjoy doing, which is networking with other brands, networking with other influencers. So, you know, like me and you were talking earlier, I've got to do the Super Bowl 7 years of the Dan Patrick Show with Traeger. Like, how cool is that?
That's pretty amazing.
You know, we had some discussion. We've had some discussions with another sports show that originates out of this here city. That's pretty popular these days. Hopefully we'll be doing something soon there. And then just working with like our country music artists that, you know, one thing that people often don't understand is, you know, they think we do these big deals with these artists. We really don't, man. We just, one thing I notice and know from having a life on the road is, you know, when you go out on the road for 3 months and those guys are out there a solid 3 months, they just want a little taste of home, man. So willing a couple grills backstage and cooking some barbecue for them. And you know, the funny thing I've always said too is people just think we cook for the artist. If I bring that down there, man, we're cooking for the janitors, whoever's hanging the lights, whoever's sweeping the floors. You know, we're firing up the pit. Everybody's eating.
Take care of everybody who's taking care of you. And,
Absolutely.
And never want anyone to feel excluded, like they don't belong or they can't be a part of something.
Yeah.
So, no, that's an absolutely – I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's part of the beauty of what we get to do. You know, me and you were having some pretty humbling conversations in here yesterday just about how fortunate we are to get to do this and get to touch the people that we have. And a lot of people say it's luck. A lot of people say it's being in the right place at the right time. I feel like you're the same way. I've always figured out the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yep. Yeah, it's just the craziest math I've ever realized. Work hard, get lucky. Who knew?
And hey, man, I know this is your podcast, but I want to put some shine on you, what you've done with your opportunities.
Oh, man.
And what you've done with your brands and the growth of your brand. And, man, you are a pleasure to work with and a pleasure to know as a friend.
Oh, brother. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Likewise. No,
A lot of respect.
Thank you. I think we're all just trying to work towards the same goal. We're going about it our own unique ways, but there isn't a right or a wrong way as long as you're still helping someone. Someone asked me, how did I measure success? It's like, well, it's not in the bank account. It's how many lives can I positively impact, and how many opportunities for others can I create. That will live on far longer than any zeros will.
To me, I want a bank account full of leaving people with a positive memory.
There it is.
You know, whether it be a 5-minute discussion or you cook for them 500 times in your life. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done and we get laid to rest, I just hope somebody goes, you know, a lot of people go, man, that was just a good time. I remembered this or I remembered that, you know.
No, I appreciate it. You've shared some of the stories, and I wonder what your answer to this would be. What has been one of your most memorable barbecue-connected memories or moments?
It's it's the guy that's going to be the pace car driver here tomorrow, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes.
It's you know. So that guy was my boyhood idol growing up. Like, just, I mean, if you grew up and you're from 40 to 50, you know, Ken Griffey Jr. was the guy, your guy. And years ago, I got an opportunity to go deliver a grill to him. And from there, man, it just took off. We became really close during COVID. And then this past year, you know, me and him did those 3 videos when Traeger released that Louisville Slugger pellet. And
I'd heard of it.
And it's one of those things where, you know, we got done filming those 3 videos, and it was like, man, like, that was a freaking cool experience. You know what I mean? It kind of just summed it all up, and everyone become such a good friend. That's just been really cool. And as much as he likes talking about baseball, he'd much rather talk about photography and barbecue.
Yes, I have noticed he's a shooter.
Yeah,
he's a shooter.
Honestly, I bet when he gets out that pace car tomorrow, I bet he'd end up having a camera around his neck.
Probably.
Shooting.
Probably. We'll catch him down in the pits, right down in the paddy. Just line up with everyone else with the vest. I'm like, wait,
let's go.
What's going on here? He's like, yeah, he's our shooter for the weekend.
Yeah, that one was fun, and some of the wrestlers I've got to meet, I've thought have been cool just because I was that old school attitude era, you know, wrestling guy.
No, I love it. I love some of the ones you've shared with me because it's just, and it's weird, you know, I grew up watching Hulk Hogan, watching Diamond Dallas, and if you'd have told the little 14-year-old kid, hey, one day you're going to hang out with Diamond, one day you're going to get to,
and he's going to introduce you to Hogan.
Yeah, and you're going to go get invited to his holiday party, and you're going to cook for him, like, never have imagined. And it's absolutely great that's happening. It's a great opportunity that affords us for just following our craft and what we do.
Absolutely.
We didn't set it out.
No.
I had no idea how to reach half of the people we've connected with.
Absolutely.
No clue. I just went to cook.
And when you get a good name inside of a network too,
that
always helps. And that also gets back to just leaving everybody with that positive memory, because it ends up kind of being this tidal wave effect of, okay, well, you crossed this gate and you met this person. Well, that opened up this one, and then that opens up this one. And it's not that we do it for that reason, but it's just that's how it organically happens.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes down to just being true to yourself, being kind to people, and chasing your passion. You know, everybody to me, you know, a lot of people don't forget that, you know, I made my name in barbecue cooking in a whole lot of parking lots against a bunch of dudes like me. You know, I was never chasing anything like this. I just wanted to cook barbecue, and that was my second family, and just be competitive. You know what I mean? And meet new folks and have a great experience. But all those just opened up different gates. And, you know, I would say the one thing is, you know, a little bit of a problem I think we have now is everybody wants that immediate satisfaction. You know, everybody wants to post to, you know, 10 posts on Instagram and be an influencer.
Yeah.
You know, but there's been a whole lot of hard work behind the scenes that people haven't seen, and I don't care if they saw it or not. But understand that grind's got to be there, and you got to put that time in to start getting these kind of dividends.
I completely agree, because everyone's like, oh, I didn't get the opportunity. And I oftentimes wonder, was it that you didn't get the opportunity, or because you hadn't been working, you didn't see an opportunity presenting itself?
You weren't ready.
And you couldn't take advantage of it.
Yep,
That's the biggest thing. Like, you just weren't ready for it.
No, and that's one thing, you know, I've always been complimented on doing live TV and live radio pretty well. And I tell people all the time that that's because every rep and every opportunity I got, I didn't care if it was 5:30 in the morning on the worst country station in Lakeland, Florida. Mm-hmm. You want me to come on Tuck Barbecue for a holiday weekend? I was going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's one more rep that I wouldn't get any other time. You know, so I always look at any of the, if this is something you aspire to do, any live rep, no net that you can get, take it. You'll go back and listen to some of the first ones, and you'll cringe.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be here today if you didn't have those. And you know the same thing from doing TV.
From television, just doing cooks and just at all. I tell people, if you have to be doing the thing you want to eventually get hired to do.
Yes.
If you're not going to put yourself out there because you didn't get invited to an event, okay, still go.
Yeah.
Go and network, because obviously the people you wanted to work with are there. Mm-hmm. Go there. Try to introduce yourself. Do legwork. Be an helping hand.
Absolutely.
It's hard to get picked up if you're not seen. You have to make
correct.
yourself visible. No one's going to find you at home like that unless you're cranking stuff out. But even more importantly, why not come to here and try to flag someone? Take a shot. Like, what, you're afraid of the investment? A $45 investment could pay off and change your entire life.
And if you don't get a certain amount of no's, you're not trying hard enough.
Oh yeah, it's a numbers game.
Don't expect everything to fall in your lap. I feel like that's a little bit of the problem now too. Like, you gotta go out and chase it. I mean, I remember when I was getting my first, competition barbecue sponsor ever, dude, I had a 2-page resume. Like, man, here's the events I plan on cooking. Here's what I plan on doing for you. Here's my results so far. Here's what I'm asking for. Here's the return I think you'll get. Be thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
Don't just, so many people just think they can reach out to a brand now and say, what I really hate is when somebody reaches out and says, let me tell you why you need to work with me.
Oh, my
and it's
God.
Like, let me go ahead and tell you why I'm going to delete this shit right now. Let me do that first.
It's an honor for you to meet me.
Yeah, but just be humble and know that every brand, regardless of how cool or how badass you think you are, every brand's got to see it our way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you really want to work with somebody, make sure, hey, here's how I'm going to represent your brand, and here's what I think the return's going to be for you.
Yeah. Be a value add.
Absolutely.
You can't go to a brand just looking to have your hand out to take something. Be a value add, bring something to the table, and solve a problem. If you can solve a problem they're aware of, great. If you can solve a problem they didn't even know they had, even better.
Absolutely.
Even better, because then you're like, oh, wow. One, it shows you're paying attention, you're intentional, and you've already came up with the solution, and it's there. Like, wow. There's a lot of things that occur to us from we're just doing it. We're like, oh, we saw this. So I hope that helps you guys, and it comes back somewhere down the road. It's not immediate. Some of these connections and these relationships, because that's what they are years in the making.
Yes.
Years in the making.
And if you want longevity in anything that you do, 2 things. One, if you do get that first contract or that first agreement with them, over-deliver.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to double it. You got to make a purpose of over-delivering, showing them what you can do and how much you value the relationship. Mm-hmm. And number 2 is don't be transactional. Build relationships.
Yes.
If you're thinking about every deal with a brand as a 3-month contract, a 3-month contract, a 3-month contract, and if I get another $500 in this 3-year contract, I'm going to jump brands. You ain't going to have longevity here because you're transactional. You know what I mean?
You end up looking like, I always tell people, I plant my flag once. If I'm there, I'm there, I'm giving it my all. We used to have this thing over at Apple, on the promise, over deliver. But the big part of that is, and I try to keep, and this is just the raw truth. One, someone is always watching. And and the person who's watching is not the person you think you'd go to. Mm-hmm. All of these brands literally have teams. That's their job. Is to just watch and find talent, right? And then 2, if you're already under contract, when it comes time to chop heads, if you're the person who's only ever been doing the bare minimum to get by, but they have someone else who may not be as popular but is constantly over-delivering every ask, guess which one they're going to keep? Because they can develop that person.
Absolutely.
They can give them they'll put a little bit more resources to help them do even
Elevate
more.
them.
So that's always my thing. If you're going to reach out to these brands, be intentional. Just don't say, hey, or I want to work with you. No, answer all the questions and then move the conversation out of the DMs as soon as possible.
Yep.
Hey,
When can I get on the phone with you?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the rubs. I've created some stuff. Here's a link or some images of what I've done. I've got some amazing things I'm working on. I'd love to see if there's an opportunity in the future because I know you guys forecast. Is there an email? Is there someone I can contact? Get out there.
And the other thing I would say, too, is as you start to grow your brand, really pay attention to what brands you partner with. And look, early on, a lot of times, I would recommend to people take less money for a brand that can elevate your presence, right? So if it's a company that's got 3 million followers across all socials, I maybe give them a 10-20% discount if I know I can negotiate. I'm going to get a couple of reshares, or you know what I mean? Like, look at it as a total package, just not as what the direct deposit says.
And that means the world because when you go about it that way. And you're not just focused on that number. Also, don't try to just get the brand. Be there for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, I don't want a 6-month deal.
Yeah.
Do we have to go a little lower so we can be in it for a year, 2 years? Because I don't want to have to look over my back in 6 months like, did I do well enough? Or did a new show just release and they're going to go after this person?
Yeah.
Because every 3 months there's a whole new draft.
Whole new crop.
We talked about this before. When you're in this game, it's an NBA contract. You got 8 to 10. You're not going to be in here forever unless you land your own show series. You end up like Guy or Bobby or Giada, and that's a legitimate handful of people. You have 8 to 10 years to build this and make it something we can get out. If not, we won't even make it there.
No, I completely agree. And understanding that and setting your 1, 3, and 5 year goals based off that longevity is very, very key.
And before we roll out here, brother, I appreciate your time. Someone's just getting into this industry. They just saw something. They want to dive in. They stop by the shop, and they're like, do you have any advice for me?
If it just comes down to cooking and they're wanting to start to work on, most of the questions I always get is, hey, I want to do my first overnight smoke. And because of the internet and everything else, everybody always wants to start with brisket.
Yeah.
I would say do not start there. If you want to start with beef, start with dino ribs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, you don't even have to wrap them babies. There's so much fat in them, especially, prime or above. They ain't going to hurt you. If you don't want to spend that money, pork butts. Because if you can figure out a pork butt, you're 85% of the way to figuring out a brisket.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if it came down to like comp team or brand advice, it would just be don't try to be all things to all people. Really, don't get too narrowly focused that your market's not large enough. But like I think it's foolish when guys launch out with a rub and a sauce.
Yeah.
One, you sell a lot more rubs than you do sauce.
That's true.
I mean, I've been in the rub business now 6 years. Still ain't done a sauce.
Yeah.
Because I would rather do a line extension and a rub because I know it'll sell 3x more. But understand where you want to be, and also don't try to eat the tiger in one bite. You know what I mean? Get one rub out, and then move to 3, and then move to 5. And always listen to the consumer.
Yeah.
The more curated your brand can be towards your consumer, listening, watching what they're doing with it, evolving with them, not trying to shove something down their throat that's not working, and just being nimble and evolving. If you let your consumer curate your brand, you'll be successful.
No, I got nothing out on that. That's it.
Man.
Where can the people find you? How can they support you? What can they do?
So you guys can go check out anything Whiskey Bent BBQ, and then I've also got this new podcast called the Old Boy Podcast, which I'm having a great time with, and we got some barbecue folks on there. But it's more focused on people that just work in those blue-collar trades. We've had some fighters on, some rodeo guys, some musicians, just those people that kind of like us. You got to go out there and grind, and you're on the road, and you're shaking hands, and you're connecting with folks, just how to do that. And the other thing I think is just in the blue-collar trades, when we get down to plumbers, electricians, roofers, we got a problem, I was talking to a welding guy the other day. They're losing a lot of welders now because the average age is up in the late 50s. Guys just retiring. So for every 7 welders they're losing, they're picking up 2.
Oh, that math is going to run out real quick.
Right. And so for some of those folks that, maybe barbecue's not your thing, but you follow Sheed just because he's great, he's inspirational. If college ain't for you, go look at a trade. Some of these guys are going to trade school and coming out in 12, 18 months. They're making 6 figures.
One of my speaking idols is Mike Rowe.
Yes.
And I love reading his papers and his theses on America Slowly, losing is trades.
Yes.
And America doesn't need more beauty influencers or more this or that. No, we need welders.
Yes.
We need guys down at the oil fields. We need those mechanics. The world needs mechanics.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just, those trades will never go out of business. They may not be lavish and showcasey, and you're not getting a 3-season TV deal off of it, but it's honest work.
But I don't know. I mean, you think about it. Some of the biggest TV shows of all time: Deadliest Catch, Blue Collar Job,
That's right.
Fast and Loud,
Yeah.
Blue Collar Job. You know what I mean? So people are fascinated with it. It's just training yourself and getting out there and doing the work.
You're right.
So yeah, if you guys like discussions like that, come check out the Old Boy Podcast. That's kind of what we're talking about, and just another way of being able to engage folks in arears that I don't touch as much in barbecue, but personally I enjoy and have a passion about.
We'll do it, brother. I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been a
Thank
great
you,
weekend
guys.
hanging out with you. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be a great time. And you guys make sure to follow, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell 2 friends. We're going to drop the info below. And most importantly, be good to one another.
I think you guys will enjoy it. So let me know in 3, 2. All right, guys. So what did you think? How did it work? You guys enjoyed my chat with Chad? You got to hear that we actually do talk and we are friends and we are alike, and it's not me bashing. I don't hate him when I sleep.
She does not always
It's
hate
just
Traeger.
not for me, But in that
It's
world
okay
of
that
Ellis
it's
and
just
what have
not for
get
you.
Down how you get down. If it's a meal, I'm eating it. I don't care. It's all entertainment. It's all grill entertainment here. We're just having funsies. Fire rollers, smoke rolls. Yeah, that was bad. You guys took that one on the chin.
Unless
That
it's
was-
scrap and waste. That one was brutal.
That was like Jeremy, whatever marketing agency.
Let's just call a
you guys
spade a
had over there,
spade on
look at
that
camera
one.
right here. Jeremy, brother, you need to let everyone and their mama would have got fired that day. Because you know how many hands I had to go through, but we're not going to harp on that. We're just going to repost the video. No, but I enjoyed sitting down with Chad, man. And, we've got some amazing stuff together. That weekend allowed so many like-minded and amazing and caring individuals to stand up and speak in likeness and share commonality. So truly honored. I appreciate you, brother. And I think that's the pod. Truly honored. I appreciate you, brother. And
Running out to another race.
Yeah.
not to another race. We got a lot more stuff coming.
Special guest.
Yeah, you're running out to another race
Oh yeah. I'll let you
with some special guests there with you.
I'll run it for you guys. If you guys want to know, you got to check out the socials for that. They'll see them. This is the slowest they've gone for a while.
They'll find him. They'll see him.
They might. Have,
I was gonna say they
I'm
might
trying to
have
time for
something
them.
going
I
on.
think I got in touch with one of their assistants.
They might be
to make
movie
this
stars
happen.
now.
Yeah, still rolling.
What was it, Amazon
Yeah.
#1 for like 2 weeks now?
Since
or
it was
something like
directed
that?
by J.J.
Since it
Abrams.
left
We're just dropping
IMAX,
hints here, ladies and gentlemen.
it's
Pick
now
them up if
number
you
one
want
on
to.
everyone's
We've
home
talked
TV.
about 'em
Yeah.
enough. Blue Angels. Whichever which way you want to do. But I appreciate you guys.
Or fly with
tuning
them,
in.
run with them, fly
Always,
with them,
this
pick
has
them
been
up.
This
But
Week in Barbecue.
yeah.
The Barbecue Focus podcast is bringing you hot takes and even hotter recipes. I am your host, Rasheed Phillips, and even slimmer than when we started this podcast is Mr. I like doing it because he laughs and it's cheesy. Got to do it. What are you going to do?
Lee
Guys,
Garmin.
Thank you. Tell a friend to tell a
Yeah,
friend. Like,
yeah, yeah.
subscribe, and share. And as always, be good to one another. See you next time.